Hello, my name is Lisa Lundy. I'm a motivational speaker, a mother, and I'm also the author of the Super Allergy Girl Allergy and Celiac Cookbook. Here to talk to you about a couple things you must know before you start on a gluten-free diet if you're thinking about going gluten-free. The first thing is please don't make the classic mistake and go try the gluten-free diet without getting tested for celiac disease. We have over 3 million people in the United States that have yet to be diagnosed. So we know they're walking around with celiac, and it is of great value to you, maybe not today, but down the road, to know if you actually have bona fide celiac disease or if you are gluten intolerant. So the number one thing is please make sure you get yourself tested for celiac disease. Trust me, you won't regret it down the road having done the test. You will potentially have the regret if you don't get the test done. Number two, have a nutritional profile done. That's a blood test to look at your nutritional levels. Whether you have celiac disease or not, sometimes people will have issues with absorption of vitamins and nutrients. Before embarking upon a gluten-free diet or any other special diet, it's really good to work with a physician or a medical practitioner that's appropriate and look at your nutritional levels to make sure, this is especially important, not only just in the gluten-free diet, but any diet that restricts your normal foods so that you make sure you're getting the appropriate vitamins, nutrients, essential fatty acids, etc. So number two is make sure you get a nutritional profile. Number three is to get educated. Gluten is in a lot of foods, and gluten is not in some foods. It's not naturally in fruits and vegetables. But if you take a vegetable and you put it in a sauce that contains gluten, then obviously the vegetable would have gluten in it. So the number one thing is to understand what gluten is in, what gluten is in, what gluten is not in, and where you can get trustworthy and reliable information. That will make your journey immensely easier. And for the United States, we have the Celiac Screw Association, USA, and we have the Gluten Intolerance Group, two very large, very committed organizations to help consumers wade through the testing, wade through the information, help sort out what's what. So you have a lot of resources. But when you're looking at resources, I would make sure you're working with someone who is experienced and actually has a lot of experience, because you could easily get misinformation and put you down the wrong path. The next thing is to make sure you look at other food sensitivities as well. Well, why would I say that? Well, first of all, if you don't have celiac disease and you don't need to be in a gluten-free diet, wouldn't you want to know that? Some people have an issue and it's not actually with gluten. They think it's with gluten, but when they really do their homework, what they find out is it's actually in MSG, or it's a preservative, an additive, or some other food category that's actually the real culprit. If you don't need to be on the gluten-free diet, wouldn't you want to know that? So it makes sense, if you want to have the most information, to look at whether you might have some other food sensitivities. The next thing very few people talk about, but I always talk about because I wish I would have known this 10 years ago. The next thing is, before you start, you should know, please do not eat too much rice. The primary mainstay of a gluten-free diet is rice. There's rice crackers, there's rice milk, there's rice in everything. If it's not rice, it's potato, corn, and soy. So what happened in our household was my baby, my husband's second son, had to be in the gluten-free diet, and within 18 months of being on the gluten-free diet, he became rice intolerant, where rice gave him the same exact symptoms as if he had eaten gluten. I didn't know you could become allergic to rice. I was still learning. And it's not just people who have a celiac issue. Our friend Linda spent 4 years in China, and by the time she got back, she couldn't eat a lick of rice. What mainstream allergy knows, and most people who operate in the field of allergies, if you want to develop an allergy to a food, either eat it every day or eat a lot of it. Just go to the medical library, it's right there. That's a formula for disaster. So you can either rotate your foods or have a rice-free day every now and then. There's a number of different ways, but please be forewarned that if you become allergic to rice on the gluten-free diet, you will lose almost all commercial processed packaged goods, and you will be on your own for baking and cooking, or you'll only be eating fruits, vegetables, and meats. And the next thing is, buyer beware. What I didn't know when I started was that some books will say that they're gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, whatever-free, and they're not actually. So this particular book is one of many that says gluten-free, but when you actually start to look at the recipes, some of the recipes actually contain gluten. This is not the only cookbook, and I've covered the cover so we don't upset the apple cart with anyone, but you want to make sure if you're celiac or you're going on the gluten-free diet that you're actually going on the gluten-free diet. Spelt, kamut, there's a number of other flours that actually contain gluten that are in some cookbooks. Don't ask me why that is. I don't really understand it, but we did learn the hard way that some of the books that are out in the market and say gluten-free on the cover are absolutely not gluten-free. And you can go on Amazon.com and read some reviews from other people who were a little upset and wrote about it. So that's where to go to find to authenticate that. So anyway, what I can promise you is my book is completely 100% gluten-free, 100% wheat-free, dairy-free, egg-free, peanut-free, tree nut-free, coconut-free, and 75% soy and corn-free with no shellfish, and just a mention or two of fish as a supplement and in a Worcestershire sauce. So the bottom line for you is to know who you're getting your information from, what their expertise is, and please make sure that you, if you're dealing with the website that's not one of the national organizations, look at their bio, look at their About Me. If they don't have a very nice, solid bio that lets you know they have experience, they know what they're doing, if they're just a few years into it, you can certainly take their information, but I would be cautious, because what I do know is that there are some people who've brought up websites in the gluten-free area, and where they're getting their information is from Craigslist. So you just want to be forewarned. That's the inside scoop. I hope that's been somewhat helpful to you. You can go to my website to download a free one-page document about things you should know that we just talked about. For more tips, white sheets, white papers, videos, recipes, please visit my website. Yes, I'm having a good time at www.thesuperallergycookbook.com. Thank you.